part of what he says that I love the most now is, I am getting indicted for you. If it wasn't me, they'd be going after you. Have you ever heard a bigger pile of crap in your life? Now, as far as I could tell, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that none of the people in this audience tonight have paid off a porn star to keep quiet about the fact that she had sex with him while he was married, so that the country and his wife didn't find out about it prior to the 2016 election. Was there anybody here who did that? All right, you're in the clear. Did any of you take classified documents out of the White House, refuse to give them back for 18 months when the government asked you quietly, politely, nicely to do it, then lie to your lawyers and tell them you had shown them all the documents when you had one of your buddies hiding documents in another part of Mar-a-Lago? And by the way, I'm from New Jersey and I was a prosecutor, so I'm somewhat familiar with organized crime. This caper looks like it was performed by the stupid Corleones, right? I mean, this Walton Outa guy, he's Fredo. You know he is. Running around with the boxes, hiding them in other places. Then you send Fredo down to eliminate the hard drive on the security cameras. Poor Fredo. Now he's charged too, but none of you were involved in that either. Lying to the government, obstructing justice, hiding the documents. None of you are involved in that. I want to make sure. All right, none of you are involved in that. Okay. Now, did any of you invite people to Washington, D.C. on January 6th, tell them it was going to be wild, then give a speech in front of them, in front of the White House, saying the election had been stolen when you knew it hadn't? Did you then tell them that Mike Pence could reverse the election if he only had the guts to do it, even though you know there's no way a vice president can reverse an election result? Did you then tell them, any of you, that you would march up to Capitol Hill with them? No, Donald Trump did that. And of course, in typical Donald Trump fashion, he didn't go. You remember that line in the speech? Let's march up to Capitol Hill and I'll go with you. Let me tell you something. I've known him for 22 years. If there's a risk that he will break a fingernail, he's not taking that risk. Gets his manicures done perfectly and doesn't want to break one of those nails. So he went back to the safety of the White House and then sat in the dining room outside the Oval Office and watched people destroy the United States Capitol. And he sat there and did nothing. And when Kevin McCarthy called him and begged him to get on TV and ask the people to leave, he said, you know what, Kevin? They're just more upset about the stolen election than you are. I don't think any of you participated in that. Now, look, the courts will decide whether he's criminally liable, criminally responsible for that. But he's morally responsible. He is morally responsible for what happened on January 6th.